Well, if it could only be so easy that I could get everything to work week after week. For some reason, it looks like I cannot get my chat feature to connect. So I won't be bringing them up on screen. So I'm going to have to read them to you. The glasses are a must. Steve Eller is in the house, said, "Good morning, DSP. Excited to get things finalized for the seminar in Vegas next week." I am too. A little preoccupied with what's going on, and I'll share that with everybody here in a little bit. But I'm very much looking forward to next week. I love the energy of a room full of people who are ready to change their lives. We've got Chicago Taco Authority. Jose is in the house. Good morning to you as well. iBand's in the house. Good morning. I've got a good morning there. And I wish I could make this come up on screen, but I do not know what I did wrong this week. Mary DeLeon's in the house. Good morning to you, Mary. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Getting ready to cook your took-us-off. I can't remember when the next big cooking thing is, but this woman has cooked for Teachers Appreciation, biscuits and gravy, and I didn't get any. I'm just letting you know. I'm a little sad because I like biscuits and gravy. We've got, let's see here, a bunch of people who are joining as we speak. Do me a favor, make sure you log into your Google account, YouTube account, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you can participate in the chat, because at the end of my portion of Shoot the Shit with DSP, I answer your questions. It also gives you an opportunity to participate, to be a part of the community. I appreciate it to know that you're here. Let's see here. We are coming up here. Should be get started any second now. Why don't we get this all put together and get this going. Welcome to Shoot the Shit with DSP. STS with DSP happens every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube, travel schedule permitting. We're going to invest about 30 minutes out of your day to get pumped about the upcoming week and get excited about crushing your goals and finding the motivation to be the best you possible. Plus, I'll answer your burning questions. I'm Dave Scott Peters, creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula and your coach. And again, if you're joining me as we speak, make sure you log into your YouTube account, your Google account, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you can participate in the chat, because when I get finished my portion of Shoot the Shit, I answer your questions. Here we go. I want to be honest with you. I really want to be honest with you before we get into today's topic. This week has been tough for me. I'm dealing with some heavy personal stuff. My mom's health, well, it's taken a turn. We're having conversations that no one ever wants to have, including meeting with hospice. Her health has been turning so quickly that we put my daughter on a plane, or at least purchased tickets to have her plane from Alaska to here in Phoenix, to be here in the next 10 days. That way she can see her grandma one more time. And man, that's a weight you can't set down, even if you wanted to. But here I am, the lights on, the mic hot, and you in front of me. Because that's what leaders do. We show up. That's why this topic today, how to lead when life is heavy, isn't just a teaching point. It's where I'm standing right now. I'm going to walk you through it in real time. What do you do when life outside your restaurant is falling apart and your team is still expecting you to lead? This is where real leadership separates from that performative rah-rah bullshit. When you're not feeling strong, but you're still the backbone of the business. Let me share with you how I learned how to lead through it. Step one, own it, but not with your team. You're not a robot, and you shouldn't be. You shouldn't even try to be. But here's where leaders go sideways, and I mean sideways quick. They either fake it, right? Everything's fine. And then they implode, like poof. Or they emotionally unload on their staff, just sharing. Neither one works. You've got to process your pain privately with someone safe. A coach, a friend, a mentor. Someone who can help you sort it out without judgment or agenda. Because if you bury it, right? If you really bury it, It'll come out sideways. I mean sideways. At a manager who forgot to 86 something and you blow a gasket when it's really not that big a deal. Or a cook who clocked in late. Well, I certainly want discipline and I certainly want accountability. It's certainly not something to rip somebody's head off, but when you bottle it up, the emotional ticking time bomb is huge. You can't lead clearly if you're all fogged up emotionally. And I'm not saying you're not human beings. I'm not saying there isn't a time that you're going to be fogged up. But you got to own the storm. Just don't broadcast it. Step 2 is cut the clutter. Look, this is putting in triage mode. Try to simplify and survive. When life hits you hard, you don't need to be the visionary genius implementing 17 new initiatives. You need to what? Run the schedule, watch your costs, touch every table, coach with intention, be present. You got to strip it all down to the 4 walls and the people inside them. Let the rest sit. Trust me, that new bar menu you wanted to test, it can wait. You're not slacking. You're strategically surviving. That's leadership. Step 3 is be real, not raw. Now, this is a line you got to walk like a tightrope. Being real doesn't mean dumping your pain onto your team. It means being grounded, present, and when necessary, transparent, that you can share a little what's going on. So if you've got something heavy going on in your life, you still want to be that leader, you might say something like, hey team, I got some personal stuff going on this week. So we're focusing on the basics. Let's just keep things tight and support each other. That's it. That's the whole speech. No crying, no trauma dumping, just calm, firm presence. They don't need your wounds. They need your steadiness. The bottom line, you don't lead in spite of life's curveballs. You lead through them. And when your team sees you doing doing that with grace and grit, you earn loyalty. No bonus check or pizza party can buy. They follow you because you're real, not because you're perfect. And I know I'm not the only one who's going through struggles. The only one who's had a bad week, a bad month, a bad whatever. And I always tell people that we're allowed to have bad days. We're human beings. In fact, you can have such a bad day, you can cry yourself to sleep, you can eat yourself to sleep, you can do whatever, drink, whatever your vice is. It's what we do the next day that defines us. The key, though, as a leader is getting to the point where we can get through that day, not overshare it, not dump, do all those things, be transparent, maybe pull back and keep everybody moving forward because that's what a leader does. So I want to hear from you. How do you lead when life gets heavy? Drop it in the chat, the comments. Let's support each other, leader to leader. And remember, if you're showing up right now, even through your personal life, that it feels like hell, I see you. I respect the hell out of you. And I'm standing in that fire with you right now. I can just tell you this. We're human beings that have lives. We have feelings. We have our own turmoil. We have life. And life isn't always easy. But you've got a restaurant full of people. Internal customers, your employees. External customers, your guests. Vendors. Family. Who are all counting on you to stay steady, stay the course, and get them through it. And that's what you've got to focus on. Maybe, again, it's not doing all the big things. Maybe it's settling on just a few things. But the fact of the matter is, I feel you. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I make mistakes all the time. But I can tell you this. I'm a professional. I'm a leader. I show up. And that's what you need to do too. That concludes my portion of STS with DSP. Now it is time for you and your questions. And again, technology is failing me today because I guess I didn't do something right. I got us live, I got us good sound, I got us good lighting, I got us good video, but I can't bring up your comments today. Let me just double check that. I cannot, so I'll be reading them. We stopped with Marion. Good morning. I've got Iben. Iben says, what should I prepare and present to potential investors to raise funding for my business? And how do I calculate a fair percentage of equity to offer based on my company's current valuation and future? Well, it's going to come back to the one thing that I talk about all the time, Ivan. You've got to have a budget. Now, you at least have to have your first year budget, but odds are you need to go 3 to 5 years deep to let them see what potential you have. That means you got to have your prime costs in line. So food, bottled beer, draft beer, wine, liquor, merchandise, labor, by position. You've got to have your operating costs in line. You've got to have a general idea of where that is. And you got to show them what that return on investment may look like. No matter what, anybody who invests in a restaurant understands they're taking a risk. And the risk is you might not be open in a year. And they may be on the hook for a lease, an SBA loan, or whatever. But it's a budget. Now, how much equity? That I can't answer for you. You know, based on your sales, you're going to be a $800,000 a year restaurant. You're going to be a $2 million restaurant. You're going to be a $10 million restaurant. This all matters. Do you have it set up that you're going to get a salary and no investors are going to get money until 5 years goes by? Until you hit a profit, until X? I don't have a great answer for you. I do have some people on my team that can help with that. I do have members who have done it that in our group coaching calls could help with that. But that's not my expertise other than putting together the budget and helping you with that process. That's my answer. I'd love to give you better advice, but if you're going to learn one thing from me, if I don't have exactly what you need, I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm going to give you what I know. I'm not going to make shit up because that's a big deal. To go out and get money to make your dream possible. Now, I will say on a side note, if you got an existing restaurant that has good numbers, it's much easier. If you're opening up brand new, you got no numbers, it's going to be, now you're looking really friends and family who believe in you. That's who's going to give you the money. All right, next, Peter is in the house. What's up, Peter? Hello from rainy Connecticut. It's always rainy in Connecticut. Anyway, that's a whole other story. Stacy's in the house. Hello, hello. It is good to have you, Stacy. Peter also says, I don't get mad anymore when shit happens. As upset as I am very patient with my employees. My register was short $32 the other night, and I told them they would be held accountable for it. Peter also says, I told them I'm taking $16 out of their tips each. Okay. You can't do that. I appreciate your patience. I can appreciate that you want to hold them accountable. But you cannot take from anybody's tips. So here's kind of the deal. And I literally was on a consult, probably 18 years ago in Nashville, Tennessee. And I had owners who were doing that. And I'm like, you can't do that. Like, really? So I went outside the restaurant and I called the IRS. I personally called the IRS, explained the situation. And this is what I learned. I learned that you can claw back money from an employee as long as it doesn't take them below minimum wage. So if I have a cook breaks a dish, I could charge them for the dish as long as when I take that money away, I don't drop them below minimum wage. Minimum wage is $15 an hour and I'm paying them $25 an hour, and I take the dish away and they go to $24 an hour, life is good. I can do that. I wouldn't, but I can. Oh, by the way, I can't do that if they worked overtime that week. I don't make this shit up. This is our laws. This is federal. So I wouldn't do it anyway. Now I've got a bartender The server is short. Well, if a server has a walkout, that's a different story. If a server has a walkout and they've got what we call server banking and they're responsible for their own bank, their own money, they bring in their own $20, they give their own change, they take the credit cards, go through, they handle their own cash. If they're short because somebody walked out, they owe you the money because they were responsible for their own bank. But the moment I give a bartender or a cashier a drawer, that's my money. The rules change. And if they're short money, I cannot, if they missing a bottle of beer, I cannot take money from them because I'd be taking money from their tips. And by federal law, I cannot take from their tips. Can't do it. So now I got to either write them up, take them off the schedule, put them through retraining, or fire them. There is accountability, and it can be patient and calm and put them through a retraining. But Peter, we can't do that. Doesn't mean it's not done in the restaurant business all day long, but all it takes is one employee to throw you under the bus. All right. VapeRex says, good morning, true believers. Yeah, we hope everybody's a true believer. Otherwise, what the hell you're doing here, right? And I'm going to see you, I think, in Vegas, if I remember correctly. Peter says, so what's the recourse? There's a 20-second delay, so hopefully you got that. Matt Plapp says, 5 days, baby. 5 days. Matt Plapp and I will be on stage in Vegas, changing people's lives. I'm excited for it. I really am. And as I shared with you, this week is pretty heavy. So I could use some energy from you all very much. And I will tell you that there's nothing that makes me happier than a room full of people and me on stage, changing your world. Get ready to be excited. Get ready to change your life. Get ready to implement systems. And then hold on to that frickin' energy. Because I need you to be the leader your restaurant needs, right? That's what the whole purpose of today was. All right, Peter said I answered it. Yes, I did. All right. What other questions do we have? We're about 17 minutes in. I'd like to give you at least 30 minutes of my time. I don't have to keep you. There will be no Shoot the Shit next week. And I do want to remind you, otherwise Ryan will get angry with me. He doesn't get angry. We do have coaching program. I'm going to tell you, we're making a change to it. An exciting change. I'm not going to give you all the details, but just imagine that it's going to give you more one-on-one attention. How about that? It's not going to be any more expensive. We just want to improve what we do. We want to improve your results. We want you to feel more supported. So now's the time to get in with us. If you click on that QR code, it'll take you to a link where you can sign up to get on Ryan's calendar, where in 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you guys get into it, you can learn about you, your business, what your challenges are, tell you how we might be able to help. And then it's up to you. If you think what we have works for you, we'd love to have you in one of our groups. If it's not, it's great. Keep showing up here on Shoot the Shit with DSP. I'll be here every Friday, travel schedule permitting. But I won't be here next Friday because I'll be driving home from Vegas after my 2-day seminar. And I will not have a voice beyond that. Carlos Z says, take the loss, $32 with the IRS versus labor commission on your ass. Laugh out loud. Yeah, man. VaporX said, write them up, start the HR process. Yes. And Stacy says, so bummed we won't be there. It was pivotal for us last year. Stacy, it was great to have you in the room. It really was. And I truly am impressed with the changes you're making. I know it's not easy, but you're staying the course. You're getting it done. And kind of like today's topic, you know, when the shit hits the fan, you're doing a great job of remaining the leader your restaurant needs. Take that to heart, right? It's easy to pack it up. It's easy to go, this shit is just fucking hard and not do anything. But you're an impressive leader. You're getting shit done. You're changing your world, especially when it's hard. So I appreciate you. We've got Faya Street Foods in the house, watching all the way from Suriname, SA. SA? South Africa. Oh, fantastic. It is wonderful to have you. What the heck time is it there? It's got to be late, right? It's what time here? I'm in Pacific time. I'm in Arizona. We don't change our clocks. So it's 8:20 a.m. I think it's like midnight your time, isn't it? Impressed. Thank you so much. All right, how are we doing with time here? My team has not told me anything. Everything else is working except for the chat function. I'm going to look at that real quick. Yeah, I cannot pull the chats up. I will figure that out, what step I missed. Otherwise, again, 2 things. Personal promos. Click on that link and get on a call with Ryan. Learn more about our coaching programs, how it might help you through the turmoil of the tariffs and inflation and the lower guest counts and the rising costs and the challenges of people and all the things that restaurant owners go through. Been doing this for 23 years coming up this July. There's not much we haven't seen. And what's really what we don't play up enough is the community that we've created. That most of the things anymore that I know are because I've learned it from restaurant owners like you. That's the truth. I'm a gatherer of knowledge. And it's been my pleasure and I feel very lucky. Stacy says, do you have advice regarding business structure? I'm looking at creating a trust to own the business to create more tax deferment. All right, so I'm going to tell you this. No, I'm not the right person to talk to, but I can guide you through a little bit. And the reason being is you've got two very important people you've got to talk to. And this is important. This is a message for everybody. When you're looking at taxes, when you're looking at how you're going to either sell your business or have it stay in the family, whatever it may, your legacy, whatever it may be. This really matters at the beginning, and it can be changed during you operating. And that is, what entity am I going to be for tax purposes? So, for instance, if I'm a small revenue, maybe I'm a $500,000, $800,000 restaurant, it's not a whole lot going on. I might be a subchapter S corporation. And I'm going to save money on self-employment taxes because as a pass-through entity into my tax return, a subchapter S, I pay less in self-employment tax. That's pretty easy. And if I ever bring on a partner, the challenge there is their voting rights, if you will be what percentage of the company they own. So if they own 40% of the company makes money, and we take it, whether we take a distribution or not, it does not matter. They're going to owe their portion of the taxes. If the company doesn't have the money, they got to pay their portion, you got to pay your portion, 60-40. If the company has a loss, then each partner is responsible for their equity position. If we need $10,000, I got to come up with 6, you got to come up with 4. So in partnerships, that becomes a little harder. There is an LLC. And an LLC, and I'm not a CPA, so I can't tell you the difference between an LLC that's acts as an S versus does not matter. Too deep for me. But an LLC allows me to have partners, but I'm the managing member. That means no matter how much anybody owns percentage-wise, I have the final vote. That's it. So if you're looking to take on partners and you want to bring in money and you want to do all these things, that's a fantastic thing to do. But you're going to pay more in self-employment tax for that pleasure. You're going to have some other protections. But then we got a C Corp. And a C Corp is truly putting a shield between your personal life and the business, but you are going to pay C Corp taxes. And you're going to pay personal taxes when you take your distribution. So unless you're going to grow to be really, 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 really large, a C Corp is not probably where you want to be. Now, I will tell you the 2 people you need to talk to is your CPA and your tax attorney. If you don't have a tax attorney, you need a tax attorney for this process. Maybe your business attorney could handle it. Because each one is going to give you a different answer based on taxes, based on liability, and based on what do you see your future. Are you going to hand this over to children? Are you going to sell it outright? Are you going to merge it? Like, what do you want to do? So a part of what you've got to do when you set up your corporation and your taxes and all these things is thinking about how you're going to end this. And that's why you've got to get those two advisors, and then you have to choose what direction. But I can tell you this, I don't want to play tax accountant because I'm not one. So I'll give you, that's all I can give you, Stacy, is that's as deep as my knowledge goes, is to guide you to those professionals and why. All right, let's see here. Faya Street Food says, I just started producing our own sauces and sausage. Congrats. But it's a lot of work. The restaurant opens in the night and we prepare in the morning, and it's very hard but rewarding. That's great. Now, just make sure that you're looking at, so you don't lose the labor. You should be, if you're making your own product, you should be saving on cost of goods sold, right? Because you're making it. You're not buying the sausage, you're making it. But it does come with labor. And what you want to do is make sure you pay attention to the prep schedule, that you've got, hey, instead of prepping, say, sausage every single day, you're prepping it twice a week, 3 times a week based on volume and how long it will be on the shelf and still be a great product that you're proud of. Because with prep, we can often get into a place where we make things from scratch that we go, oh man, I make things from scratch and I need all this prep hours. And all of a sudden it gets away from you because why? Because when I prep something, I gather all the stuff. I make the stuff. I clean up all the stuff. But if I make 2 batches, I gather the stuff, I make the stuff, I clean up the stuff. Does it take me twice as long because I'm doing twice as much? No. It might take me 10% longer. The real headache is setting up and cleaning up. And if I'm setting up and cleaning up every single day, I'm burning hours. If I set up, make 2-3 batches, clean up, and don't do it for 3 more days, I have saved all those hours every single day and still put out a quality product. So just put that in the side is really look at, based on your POS system and what your use is going to be, what you expect your sales are going to be, to hone in on some par levels to help with that. Just a little advice, you didn't ask for it. Carlos says, what are your thoughts about In-N-Out business strategy? They're not corporate and have a small menu. They generate $7 billion a year. All right, let's be very clear. In-N-Out does 2 things extremely well. In-N-Out as a restaurant is brilliant. It's a burger, cheeseburger. If you're an insider, you know how to order mustard. They just have French fries. You put cheese on it or make them animal and they'll put broken up burger. Like, you ought to be an insider. It's not on the menu. They have sodas and they have what? Milkshakes, that's it. And they have created raving fans, loyalty beyond belief, that I will tell you, if those of you who don't know what an In-N-Out Burger is, it's just a burger chain that is here on the West Coast primarily, or Western United States. And they serve a burger, a cheeseburger. They have lines of people. I will tell you, it's the only quick serve concept I've ever been in that is never slow, no matter where I am. It could be 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 9 o'clock in the night. Like, they're freaking busy, and they have lines, inside and outside with drive-through. So what I think, it's a brilliant concept. Brilliant. Be awesome at what you do. Don't be good at several things and okay at others. Be great. The inventory, the turns, the ability to manage your cash, to keep fresh food, like all the things go in, it's a brilliant concept. But you're right. As a concept, they're really a real estate company like a McDonald's. They own their dirt. And if you really look at their strategy, it's a strategy. Not only do the restaurants make money, but they own the dirt. They're a real estate company. They are building incredible wealth. And I know the patriarch of the company died, and I believe the daughter's running it now, and she hasn't missed a beat. Pretty impressive company. That's my thought process. All right, we've got Leo says, hello, David Scott Peters. I'm that guy. I am an 18-year-old entrepreneur. God bless. That is awesome. I work in my family's business bakery and have launched a takeout pizza spot using the space. Thank you for all the helpful advice. You're welcome, man. Hats off to you. I will tell you that being an entrepreneur, once it's in your blood, it's there. I can remember at 16 years old, a buddy and mine, we started what we called a Simonizing business back in the 80s. It's car wash and wax. And at 16, we were picking up people's luxury cars from their house without driver's licenses, and we were cleaning, making money. And so once it's in your blood, just know that this concept may or may not work. That shouldn't stop you. You know, have the energy and the balls to be an entrepreneur at 18. That is fantastic. Keep me posted on your success, my friend. That is awesome. Faya Street Food says South Africa. Yeah. Oh, South America. Yeah, there we go. I'm an idiot. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Stace says thank you. You are welcome. We've got Leo with the Canadian flag up there. I appreciate you. With all the shit that's going on here, I appreciate you. Carlos says, fascinating. See you next week, DSP. I will see you. I will see you in Vegas. Faya says, thank you for the advice, and you are, thanks for the advice. You are totally right. Thanks, man. How we doing on time? We're right at the end here of Shoot the Shit with DSP. Know that I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope today's message wasn't heavy enough to make you feel bad. Don't feel bad for me. Don't feel bad for anybody. It's life. We just got to deal with it. And I hope that you really let today's lesson resonate with you about you being the leader your restaurant needs. Be present. Work through the challenges. Strip down to what you know you can get done. Triage, right? Because tomorrow's going to be better. The next day, the next day. I promise. As long as you take action and kick ass, it'll happen. So a reminder, I will see you in Las Vegas. If you're coming to my 2-day seminar, there's still I think we've got 10 seats available right now. You can go to my site, davidscottpeters.com, click on the live seminar link, and you'll see all the details there. It is May 14th and 15th. That's Wednesday, Thursday, and it's going to be change your life. Otherwise, there is no Shoot the Shit next week. I will see you the following week here live on YouTube. Thanks, everyone. Go out there and kick some ass. Peace.